Well, they're the end rails and they're the center joists, and that's one of the lower rails, and this is one of the other lower rails. All I have to do is line it up with the upper rail that's on here, and that will match this up, because I had to put two where the plywood is, but on the bottom we're not going to have two pieces of plywood, and so you just split the difference. And then all I have to do is draw these lines out with my square, and then I've worked by myself all my life, and you have to figure out ways to do stuff. Now, it's very hard to hold this board up there, being about 5 feet long, but it's a whole lot easier to hold it up there and screw it in there while you're holding it on this block of wood. And then when you take the end cap and you take that board off down there, it's just two little screws a half inch longer than that piece of wood, and you put one on the back and you put it up here while you're putting it together, because you don't have extra pair of hands. And this way, by transferring the storyboards, when you look at it and walk in, all the screws are lined up, and somebody would look at it and say, they know what the world they're doing. It wasn't like an afterthought. Look at the screws, they're all crooked. It just, you planned it out. You made all your cuts on a chop saw, or sawed them as squarely as you could. This is when you start to square it up, because this is on the mark that way, and that one is flush there. So I only screwed those two screws in because this corner, these boards splay. When you put them together, they could be off. This has to be pulled together. Now, whether you do it with a clamp or somebody leans on it while you attach the two outer screws. But when you do that, you will square these two legs up. They'll be 90 degrees to each other. And then when you put the one across, you put the one across the back, and then when you put the ones across the front, you'll square those up. And it'll be the same distance around here as it is around here, which means it's the same distance around there. But that's how it gets squared up when you pull these over. Now I can put a clamp on here and pull against that and pull that over. See, now it's flush. This post and that post is squared. I'll put the rest of these in. That's for the center joists, and I'll put the back rail on, and then I'll do the side rails. Well, it's getting late on the East Coast. It is 10 minutes after 6. And today is the 22nd of March. And the rest of this workbench is finished. I just need to get it off there and flip it upside down and slide it under here and attach this part to it. And attach, cut a board for where I'm standing. This shelf's a little longer than the other shelf, but it still gives me, see, I'll have out to here plus another inch, a little over an inch, for a place for my feet to go without hitting it. Time to go home. Been a long day. Well, I decided I was going to try to get it off there and put it on there, just see how it fits. Looks like it fits pretty good to me. Lines up pretty good in the center. I'll cut that ear off, and I'll cut that ear off and be flat across the front. That shelf's a little bit wider than this one, and hit right in the middle of those two 2x4s like I planned. So this one's on a solid 2x4. The next piece will be on a solid 2x4. So now that's all the size piece I have to cut out of a piece of 4x8 plywood, and I probably have a piece of plywood good one size that big. It's a lot better than taking two sheets to finish this thing. All I have to do is get it all squared together. And see, I'll run screws through those 2x4s once I get it mounted to the wall. Once all the plywood's on here, this will get driven back, and I'll mount that into that 2x4, and wherever there's an opening, I made the things across here so they wouldn't be in the way. And all you got to do is mount it like 3 2x4s that way and 1 2x4 in the middle on each end. And see, the plywood will be 1/2 inch and it's all up against the other end. Getting a little dark, folks. But I had to see it in place. Now it'll be a good 15.5 foot workbench, and put rickrack all over, this beadboard, pegboard all the way across the back to the bottom of my loft. Not looking too shabby. Time to go home. Thanks for watching.